There were these notes and all this different stuff found in his cell when there was like some sort of raid that went down, and that this stuff is basically allegedly showing that he's been trying to sway jurors, he's been trying to sway potential witnesses, and just the public opinion using social media. And they found out about the communication on the three-way calls because the calls are monitored, so they can use that.
Mr. Combs is a fighter. He's going to fight this to the end. He's innocent. He came to New York to establish his innocence. He's not afraid.
Sean Diddy Combs' jail cell was raided by the FBI, and what they found inside could change everything.
A magistrate judge denying him bail, saying that there were no conditions that she could conceive of that would make her confident that he would appear again for other court appearances. The judge saying, "My concern is this is a crime that happens behind closed doors."
Even more shocking, Diddy's legal team is accusing federal agents of violating his rights. Are these claims valid, or is this just a distraction from the explosive evidence found during the raid?
I think that we made the points that we've been wanting to make. I think he came out. Mr. Combs is a fighter. He's going to fight this to the end.
And let's not forget, Diddy allegedly attempted to reach out to witnesses from behind bars. Is he orchestrating a cover-up, or is this a case of justice gone wrong? Let's start with the raid that's got everyone talking. The FBI swept Diddy's jail cell as part of a planned operation targeting contraband. What they found was shocking: handwritten notes allegedly discussing payments to witnesses and strategies to discredit his accusers. Prosecutors claim this is direct evidence of obstruction of justice.
There were these notes and all this different stuff found in his cell when there was like some sort of raid that went down, and that this stuff is basically allegedly showing that he's been trying to sway jurors, he's been trying to sway potential witnesses, and just the public opinion using social media.
But that's not all. Among the 11 pages and 8 calendar book entries seized were instructions for his family to dig up dirt on 2 victims. Prosecutors argue that this shows Diddy's intent to manipulate the outcome of his trial. But is there more to this story? And Diddy's legal team isn't taking this lying down. They've slammed the raid as a blatant violation of his rights, claiming the seized notes are protected by attorney-client privilege. Could this bold defense strategy save him, or will the explosive contents of these notes overshadow his arguments? The raid took place at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, where Diddy has been held since his arrest on September 16th. According to prosecutors, the notes found in his cell outlined plans to obstruct justice, including instructions for family members to reach out to potential witnesses and find compromising information on victims. Assistant U.S. Attorney Christy Slavic claimed in court that these notes were not privileged. Instead, they revealed a clear pattern of interference, including alleged payments to a witness who had previously denied allegations against Diddy. Prosecutors argue this is part of a larger strategy to manipulate the trial's outcome. At the moment, attorney-client privilege, the cornerstone of any fair trial, is at the heart of Diddy's defense. His legal team is claiming that the FBI's raid on his jail cell was not just an overreach, but a direct attack on his constitutional rights. But is this claim valid, or is it just a smokescreen to deflect from the incriminating evidence found in those notes? Mark Agnifilo argues that the notes seized during the raid were confidential communications related to Diddy's defense strategy. In his words, they were not instructions for illegal activity, but a roadmap for how to navigate the legal storm surrounding the case. According to Agnifilo, this raid represents a complete institutional failure, and he's demanding the court throw out all seized evidence as inadmissible. But prosecutors see things differently. They argue that attorney-client privilege does not extend to documents that outline plans to obstruct justice. Assistant U.S. Attorney Christy Slavic stated in court, "These notes are not protected because they pertain to criminal conduct and cannot be shielded under the guise of privilege." The court has been left to weigh these arguments in what could become a landmark ruling for high-profile criminal cases.
There was an emergency hearing called this afternoon at the courthouse in Lower Manhattan, the judge ordering the prosecution to turn over its findings from a jail cell raid.
Adding to the complexity, the court is not only questioning the legality of the raid, but also its timing. Was this operation a strategic maneuver to corner Diddy's defense team, or was it a necessary step to preserve critical evidence? Judge Subramanian's ruling to retain the original notes while destroying copies reflects this delicate balance.
He ordered the prosecution to destroy their copies. He kept copies, and he's going to review them in chambers or in camera. And one of two things will happen. Either the defense is right, And those are privileged materials, in which case they will not go to the prosecution, or the prosecution is right and they have nothing to do with the legal case, and the government will get copies.
From the moment the raid occurred, allegations of witness tampering have loomed large over this case. Prosecutors allege that even while behind bars, Diddy has been working tirelessly to influence the witnesses set to testify against him. But how is he allegedly doing this? The answer lies in a trail of phone records, bank statements, and suspiciously timed statements from key individuals in the case. One of the most damning pieces of evidence is a series of jailhouse calls where Diddy reportedly instructed his family to contact Witness 2, a woman who had previously accused him of violent conduct. According to prosecutors, Witness 2 posted a public statement denying these allegations shortly after the calls, raising suspicions about the timing of her retraction. But that's not all. Diddy also made a disturbing phone call to his son that has since been leaked to the public. The alleged prison phone call between Diddy and his son has left the internet buzzing. On the surface, it sounds like a father giving instructions to his son, but dig a little deeper, and it starts to feel like something straight out of a crime thriller. Diddy kicks off the call by warning his son to not entertain none of this nonsense on the phone. Sounds like harmless advice, right? But here's the thing. Why would he say this unless he's worried about the call being monitored? It's a subtle but strong hint that Diddy knows the stakes are high. Everything he says could be used as evidence, and this opening alone sets the stage for what feels like a coded conversation. Then, out of nowhere, comes the first eyebrow raiser. Get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes. Now, unless Diddy's suddenly become a hardcore recycler from behind bars, this feels suspicious. What exactly are these pizza boxes? Some think it's code for documents or other physical evidence that he wants destroyed. And it doesn't stop there. He adds, make sure you recycle the plastic like we talked about. It's as if he's giving his son instructions to clean up a mess, but one that might not involve actual trash. The internet has been quick to jump on this, with many wondering if this could be part of a bigger cover-up. Then, the conversation shifts to Jay-Z. Diddy asks if Jay has reached out yet, only to hear that he's been ghosting. That's interesting because the two are known to be tight, and Jay-Z distancing himself during Diddy's current legal drama feels calculated. Could this mean Jay-Z is steering clear to avoid being implicated in anything, or is he silently helping in ways we don't know yet? Out of the blue, Diddy pivots to talk about a Netflix project. Let the producer know there's a release date for that new Netflix movie. Sure, it could just be business as usual, but the timing feels odd. Some speculate that this, too, might be code for something else. In the world of high-profile scandals, mundane terms like release date or Netflix can easily double as secret messages meant for a specific audience. As the conversation continues, Diddy's frustration starts to show. He complains that everybody out there is quiet as F. This might seem like a venting moment, but it also hints at something deeper. Who is staying quiet and why? Is it fear, loyalty, or something else entirely? Then, Diddy addresses the lawsuits against him and dismisses them outright. Ain't none of them getting ish, I ain't worth nothing, ain't got nothing in my name. That's a bold claim, especially considering the pile of legal trouble he's facing. Is this Diddy's way of saying his assets are protected, or that he's been strategic about hiding them? Toward the end of the call, Diddy mentions a list. What list? Who's on it? And why is it so important? The lack of context here has sent conspiracy theories into overdrive. Is this list related to witnesses, business dealings, or something more sinister? Without answers, it's hard not to let your imagination run wild. Meanwhile, prosecutors allege that Sean Diddy Combs has been using other inmates' PAC numbers to make unauthorized phone calls from jail. A PAC number, essentially a prison phone PIN, is used by inmates for monitored calls to the outside world. By allegedly paying inmates to use their PAC numbers, Diddy may have been bypassing the system to make untraceable calls, complicating efforts to identify his contacts and conversations. Adding to the controversy, financial records reportedly show a transfer to an account linked to a key figure in the case, identified as Witness 2. The transfer occurred just days before Witness 2 publicly denied allegations against Diddy. Prosecutors argue that this payment was part of a deliberate effort, orchestrated by Diddy's associates on his behalf to silence accusers and influence the case. They view the timing and nature of these transactions as more than coincidence, describing them as calculated manipulation. Diddy's defense team, however, has strongly denied these accusations. His attorney, Mark Agnifilo, called the claims speculative and lacking direct evidence. Agnifilo argues that the prosecution is crafting a narrative to unfairly vilify Diddy in the public eye, without concrete proof of wrongdoing. Despite these denials, the combination of unauthorized unauthorized calls, financial transactions, and witness two's statement bolsters the prosecution's argument. If these claims hold up in court, they could result in additional charges of witness tampering, further complicating Diddy's defense and significantly damaging his case. While Diddy's legal battles rage on in court, a different kind of war is being waged online. Prosecutors are also accusing Diddy of coordinating social media campaigns from prison. One particular PR stunt was during Diddy's birthday when all his kids called him. In the video shared by his son, Justin Dior Combs, the embattled hip-hop mogul could be heard on the phone talking with his kids in what's one of the first times the public has heard the elder Combs' voice since his arrest.
I love y'all. I love y'all so much.
We love you too. Love you, Pastor.
I can't wait to see y'all.
Yep.
Can't wait to see y'all. And I just want to say I'm proud of y'all, especially the girls. I mean, all of y'all, but just for being strong.
After telling Combs they loved him as well, his kids also told them that they couldn't wait to see him in a couple of days. Last month, in a statement on social media, his kids expressed their support for their dad after he was arrested and indicted and charged with STF-icking and racketeering. "The past month has devastated our family," the statement read. "Many have judged both him and us based on accusations, conspiracy theories, and false narratives that have spiraled into absurdity on social media. We stand united, supporting you every step of the way. We hold on to the truth, knowing it will prevail and nothing will break the strength of our family. We miss you and love you, Dad." Quincy Brown, Christian King Combs, and twins Delilah and Jesse Combs also released a statement after Al B. Sure, the R&B singer and Brown's biological father, called for an investigation to be opened into Porter's death. "We are deeply saddened that the world has made a spectacle of what has been the most tragic event of our lives. Our mother should be remembered for the beautiful, strong, kind, and loving woman she was. Her memory should not be tainted by horrific conspiracy theories," the statement read at the time. "We ask that everyone please respect our mother, Kim Porter, and hold her legacy in high regard so that she may rest in peace. It's what she deserves. We love you and miss you, Mommy. Quincy, Christian, Jesse, and Delilah." Meanwhile, a judge has ordered federal prosecutors to destroy 19 pages of handwritten notes belonging to Sean Diddy Combs. The notes were seized during a raid at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, where Combs is being held without bail. The decision came during a recent hearing in which the judge, Aaron Subramanian, ruled that prosecutors should not retain the documents. The hearing marked Combs' first appearance without ankle shackles, a change granted at the defense's request. He appeared relaxed and in good spirits, smiling at the audience and hugging his legal team as he entered the courtroom. Combs' defense attorney, Mark Agnifilo, argued that the seized notes were protected under attorney-client privilege. Holding up a stack of papers, folders, and notepads, Agnifilo highlighted that Combs had labeled many of the pages with the word legal. He insisted the contents pertained to discussions between Combs and his lawyers, describing the seizure as a significant failure on the part of the authorities. Prosecutors, however, pushed back against the defense's claims. Assistant U.S. Attorney Christy Slavic argued that simply marking something as legal doesn't make it privileged. She maintained that the notes were obtained through proper procedures and should not be excluded from consideration. The notes had played a role in the prosecution's earlier arguments to deny Combs bail. They claimed the materials suggested Combs may have paid off a potential witness. However, with this ruling, the judge indicated he would not factor that claim into his upcoming bail decision. This hearing comes as Combs continues to push for his release ahead of trial. His legal team has already had 3 bail requests denied, but they are now offering what they describe as an enhanced bail package. The proposal emphasizes that Combs is not a flight risk, aiming to sway the court's decision after previous setbacks. Some of the conditions within the package include a $50 million bond secured by the equity in Combs and his mother's Florida homes, implementation of a 24/7 monitoring service by approved security personnel. They also added that the rapper will have no internet or phone access outside of meetings with legal counsel, a pre-approved visitor list consisting of select family members, and surrendered passports belonging to the rapper and his family members. A decision on the bail request has yet to be reached, but federal prosecutors are fighting hard to ensure it is denied once again. In a document filed last Friday, they claim that the rapper poses a serious risk of obstruction, danger, and flight. They also mentioned that Diddy has tried to obstruct his S-Crimes case by making efforts to publicly leak materials he views as helpful to his case, as well as putting into motion media campaigns that are, in his own words, aimed at tainting the jury pool.
A magistrate judge denying him bail, saying that there were no conditions that she could conceive of that would make her confident that he would appear again for other court appearances. The judge saying, "My concern is this is a crime that happens behind closed doors."
However, it seems that the attorneys might also be receiving some heat from Diddy's witnesses. Attorney Tony Busby, who is representing several alleged victims in cases against Sean Diddy Combs, is now involved in his own lawsuit. An unnamed male celebrity accused Busby and his firm on Monday, November 18th, of shamelessly attempting to extort exorbitant sums from him or else publicly file wildly false, horrific allegations against him, according to court documents obtained by CNN. The plaintiff filed the complaint with the Los Angeles Superior Court under a John Doe pseudonym. Doe alleged in the filing that Busby's firm is attempting to capitalize on the explosive allegations against Sean Combs by pulling in public figures who have been acquainted with Diddy in the past. According to Doe, Busby allegedly sent him a demand letter earlier this month to bolster his cases against Diddy. Doe claimed in his filing that Busby's firm threatened to unleash entirely fabricated and salacious allegations of SA that include multiple instances of R of a minor, both male and female, if their client refuses to comply with their demands. Doe's attorneys claim that Busby characterized the famous client as having been friends with Mr. Combs based on the fact that the two often attended similar events frequented by celebrities. Doe's legal team continued, "These baseless accusations are nothing more than a weapon in a calculated plot to destroy plaintiff's high-profile reputation for profit, despite the complete absence of any factual basis for such claims," the lawsuit claimed. Busby responded to the lawsuit in a statement via Instagram last Monday, alleging that Doe's filing is a last-ditch attempt to stop me from revealing names in public lawsuits. He noted that the tactic won't work and vowed to keep fighting. "We won't allow the powerful and their high-dollar lawyers to intimidate or silence SA survivors. It has been reported that a lawsuit has been filed against my firm claiming extortion," Busby said in his statement. The lawyers that filed it also immediately called TMZ in an apparent effort to silence those who allege SA. The attorney claimed, "The case filed against my firm is not only without legal merit, it is laughable. Here's why. On behalf of two clients who allege SA, we sent a standard demand letter to a New York lawyer that we know represents an alleged perpetrator and potential defendant. The letters were sent seeking a confidential mediation in lieu of filing a lawsuit," Busby continued. "No amount of money was included in the demand letters. No threats were made. The demand letters sent are no different than the ones routinely sent by lawyers across the country in all types of cases." Busby called Doe's lawsuit frivolous and insisted it is an aggressive attempt to intimidate or silence me and ultimately my clients. He concluded, "Sunlight is the best disinfectant. I have confidence that with full public disclosure, all of this will sort itself out." Diddy's counsel, Erica Wolf, also commented on Doe's claims, telling Us Weekly in a statement on Tuesday, November 19th. "The extortion lawsuit against Mr. Busby exposes his barrage of lawsuits against Mr. Combs for what they are: shameless publicity stunts designed to extract payments from celebrities who fear having lies spread about them, just as lies have been spread about Mr. Combs." The statement continued. As his legal team has said before, Mr. Combs has full confidence in the facts and the integrity of the judicial process. In court, the truth will prevail, that Mr. Combs never SA'd or TF'd anyone, man or woman, adult or minor. In any case, with the evidence mounting against him, Diddy faces an uphill battle. The contents of the seized notes, combined with allegations of witness tampering and public manipulation, have significantly weakened his position. Meanwhile, his defense team is doubling down, arguing that the raid itself was unlawful and jeopardized his right to a fair trial. The court will soon decide whether the raid was justified and how the seized materials can be used. Until then, Diddy remains in custody, his fate hanging in the balance. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.